All right, so we got this Honda Rancher here. It's a 2016 two-wheel drive, and brought it back because we're going to change the oil on it at some point, but that's not this video. We're going to do the rear differential service on it. I've never done that, so it's probably time. So first thing we got to do, there's this plastic skid plate here. We need to get that off. So we'll start with that. You're going to need a probably a ratchet and a 12mm. We got 2 bolts. You're probably not going to be able to see them, but there's one here and one right in here, and then there's one that's on the side, which is probably going to be impossible to see right here. This one here. So I'll pull the cover off, and then you'll kind of know what it looks like. Alright, there's the skid plate off, and that's obviously how it came off. There was no debris or anything filled in here. So 2 back bolts here are the same. Looks like they have some sort of Loctite on them. And then the one up on the side here that goes in like this, if you take a look at it, you can kind of see there's a shoulder on this one. So you can't really mix them up, but just to be aware, the back 2 are exactly the same, so you can kind of flip-flop them. Alright, so I got the tires off and everything just to give you a better look. So that's what was accumulated there in the skid plate. You can see from the bottom you're going to have 2 bolts through here, but then you have one through the side. And that's easier to see when the wheel is off here, but that goes right in there. So those are the 3 for your skid plate. So that gives you an idea, and it's a good idea too to take the wheels off, just kind of inspect them and everything. You can't rotate them because they are directional. Alright, so next part here, this is the fill. That's going to be a 17mm. Probably check that right off the bat, make sure you can get it open. It shouldn't be an issue. It's just an O-ring on that. And then on the side here, you're going to have a 10mm. That's going to be like your check bolt. It'll run out or whatever. And then on the very bottom, I don't know if we're going to be able to get to that, there's going to be a plug right up in here. There it is. So that's where it's going to drain from. So we'll get set up here and get some of this stuff loosened. Alright, so that one's not too tight. And you can see there's a O-ring on there. Probably, I'm assuming they're going to want you to replace that. I don't have anything for that, so we'll just stick with that. Same thing with this bolt on the side and the one on the bottom. There's going to be like a little crush washer. They're going to tell you to replace that as well. I don't have that. On the side of the casting here of this housing, it does say SAE 80 use. And then it says Hypoid gear oil. So what I'm using is this here, which is just going to be the Valvoline 80W90. And if you read the back of it, it does say on here, specified, and for Hypoid differentials were GL5 specified. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. It smells like gear oil, so let me get the 10mm here and we'll get the drain plug out. Alright, so I got it loose here. I don't see anything coming out yet. And there isn't that many miles on this thing. It's probably more hours from just idling in the woods. So, and this doesn't look like it holds that much either. I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't much that comes out. And, oh, there we go. Oh, it doesn't look too terrible. Alright, so we got the manual open here, and it looks like we're going to be at 9 foot-pounds for that crush washer. I'm just using a small 1/8" drive there, so it wasn't very tight, I can tell you that. And then it looks like it only takes 2.9 ounces, so if you figure 3 ounces, that's not much oil at all. So, and it shows you in the picture here, it also says, so you're going to slowly fill the rear final gear with the recommended oil until the oil starts to flow at the oil level check hole. Allow oil to settle for 2 to 3 minutes before moving to the next step to prevent overfilling. So that's that right there on the side there. So, and it says 3, it's got a 3 marked on the side, so I would just wonder if that means 3 ounces. It also has in the casting here oil check bolt way up here, even though it's down here, and the sealing washer is still on there yet. So we'll put some in there and get going on this. Alright, so we're gonna pour some in here, some of the good stuff, and I'm not too worried if we end up spilling some. We're going way over here because I'm just gonna let it sit. I don't have to be anywhere, we're not using the machine, so just kind of squirt some in until we see some come out that check hole or whatever, or the check bolt for the oil. I don't know how much I've put in here. Looks like I've put in 100 milliliters, or not quite 2 ounces, I guess. Maybe 2.5. Oh, it's starting to drip now. So we're pretty close. So I'm just gonna let it kind of hang out and do that, and I might hit it again just to make sure we're good. Alright, so I just took it for a test ride around the yard. I did put the mileage and the date that I changed it. Hopefully it stays there. Otherwise I need to get a label maker and start putting labels on stuff because I can't remember. I will note, when I took this plug out, nothing ran out, so it might have been just a touch low. Like I said, I never checked it, so could have been some air in there when they initially filled it, and then it was a little low. But other than that, that'll be it for now.